Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for May 2022. So on May 28th, we have Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure and worth and money, moving into her place of power in Taurus energy. So let's recap. Venus was in Aries energy. She started something new. She kind of revived herself. There was a spark, an ignition there, a life force energy that came back into Venus's realm of consciousness, that woke her up, that aligned her with new passions, new desires, new experiences. Venus in this Aries energy, which technically speaking is ruled over by her masculine counterpart, Mars, definitely fired her up in a lot of ways, especially when it came to relationships. Now, again, many of us have seen relationships pop off and fall apart. A lot of that is due to retrograde season and eclipse season. Why? Because many of us are aligned with people that we have no business being aligned with. Our ego just has grasped on to these particular people, these particular relationship values so freaking much that it has blocked our higher self from aligning with the new mission, the new purpose that these particular relationships are not in alignment with, are not encouraging of, are not supported of. Venus, when she moved into Aries, she got her warrior spirit back. She was tired of settling for some of the situations that she had settled for. She was tired of giving herself away, tired of putting everyone else's wants, needs, and desires before her own. And she did a lot of work. We have to go back to the beginning of the year when Venus, of course, was in a retrograde in Capricorn energy, doing this little dance with the quote-unquote devil himself, the god of the underworld, Pluto, who had stripped her away to show her where it is in the past she had given her power away, where it is that she elected people in her life to take the starring role away from her, which, of course, she should always be the starring role in our own movie. And in this retrograde, we had the ability to really muster up a brand new courage, a brand new bravery, a brand new power, a brand new authority on what it is that meant something to us. Our values were renewed. Our worth was renewed. Our self-confidence, our self-esteem was renewed. And since the beginning of the year, of course, since then, we had to go through Capricorn energy, Aquarian energy, Piscean energy, and then she moved into Aries. Aries energy is always a fresh start, a brand new beginning. And for the last couple of weeks, we've definitely been cutting the cord with the past. We've definitely been implementing new boundaries in our life in order for us to protect ourselves. Venus in Aries energy definitely gave us that fire, that flame, that little bit of passion back. Many of us tapping into the anger, the frustration that we technically need in order to act as the inspiration, motivation, and as the catalyst in order to start something fresh, begin something new, initiate a brand new energy. So now Venus is moving out of this Aries energy, and she is going to take her throne in Taurus energy. Please be mindful that Venus rules over both Taurus and Libra. So my Taurus and Libra placements, you are going to feel this the most. But we all have Venus in our chart. We all have Taurus and Libra placements in our chart. So wherever this is taking place in your chart, this is where you're going to get stabilized, get balanced, get back down to the nitty-gritty. So we have Venus in her place of power in this Taurus energy, which is an earth energy, bringing us back down to earth, making us focus on our physical bodies in this physical environment under these physical circumstances. We have this lesson working in our favor until June 22nd. So with Venus in Taurus, we are connected to the five senses. We're very sensual. She's the queen, right? She's ruling over happiness and joy and pleasure and peace and harmony. Many of us are lacking those things in our physical lives right now. And Venus being in Taurus is going to help us get back to the bare basics on where it is that we can create these particular energies regardless of the storm coming at us in our external circumstances. We are very sensual. We want nothing other than peace and happiness and joy. We want to feel pleasure on all realms in all ways. Now, she's very content, very at peace with herself in this Taurus energy because, like I said, she is in her place of power. She has the crown on her head. She is positioned in the throne. She is taking a good look at what it is that she's been able to accomplish over the last month or so. And now she's taken it all in. We do have to just keep in mind that she rules over Taurus energy. She rules over Libran energy. Taurus is about the relationship with ourself. Libran energy is the relationship with other people. And in both of those aspects, we realize where our possessiveness comes into play. Especially in this Taurus energy, Tauran energy specifically is about accumulating things, materialistic possessions, resources, money, people. This, although, is very good because this is how we build up a foundation of what makes us feel safe and secure. This is how we figure out what actually means the most to us, what is worth our time, our energy, our effort, and what it is that we actually value. There are also cons to every energy. Keep in mind that Venus in Taurus is focused on the long term, the big picture. We are only pouring our time, energy, and effort into things that we think are going to be around for the long haul, that are going to love and support and encourage us, make us feel good about ourselves, keep us continuously bossing up to the next level of our worth, of our value for the long term. And again, that can bring up a couple of cons. Let's talk about it for just a second. So some of the cons, obviously, possessiveness. Okay, you can't own people and you can't own things. Sure, you can own things, quote unquote, but that is just kind of building an unhealthy attachment to things outside of you that honestly doesn't equal who you are at all. Now, let me just flash back, okay? We just had eclipse season in this Taurus and Scorpio axis. May I remind you, we are in a life lesson right now of what it is that we're overly attached to. This is the Taurus energy, where we become so intertwined with things outside of us that if those things were ripped away from us, we would be left wondering who it is that we are now without these attachments. This is the life lesson that we're in for another year or so, okay? So although it's good to kind of, grab onto things from outside external influences. So yes, this is my best friend. This is my partner. These are my kids. I love them. They're worth my time and value. They are my foundation. They are my everything. That's great. But when you become too attached to people, places, and things, and suddenly the universe rocks you and strips you of those things, you are spiraling. You have no clue how to function without these things that you have intertwined and ingrained into your egoic identity. That's what we're going through right now. The Scorpio energy is stripping us away from these attachments to get us closer to who it is that we are on the spiritual side of things, not on the egotistical side of things, which at this time, Venus and Taurus, very focused on our egoic selves, the physical earth, the physical reality, the physical circumstances that we've created. So possessiveness, not such a great thing. We can't own people specifically. Because Venus is very focused on relationships, We may struggle with jealousy, with possessiveness. Why? Because we see the people in our lives that we want to hold on to so greatly, so tightly, explore other relationships. Again, the eclipse energy activated this relationship exchange dynamic that has many of us really seeing the people in our lives from a different set of eyes. We also have to consider that because Venus in Taurus is all about finding stability, finding safety, finding security, we likely, because we're human and we like to learn the hard way, are going to learn those tough love life lessons from instability, from a lack of safety, from a lack of security, in order for us to find a new common ground. We are going low and slow. May I remind you, we just came out of Taurus season. That was not ideal for many of us. Why? Because we were in a situation, because this is Taurus energy, where we were supposed to manifest, bring to life, build, create new foundations in our lives where routines are concerned, taking care of ourselves are concerned, money matters were concerned, love was concerned. We didn't get to be as productive as we would like. We had retrograde season and eclipse season working against us. This is going to be a little bit of a flashback to those low and slow energies. We have to keep in mind, the moon is also in Taurus, okay? We're really going at a snail's pace at this particular time. And with all of these new planets in Aries energy just pressing the gas, this particular energy is pumping the brake. We are going to have that bucking sensation of wanting to move forward super fast, but the universe slowing our roll and able to do that so that we can really get the life lesson, really test the foundations that we are building to make sure that they are strong enough for us to actually move forward. Because Venus in Taurus really values the here and now, in this moment. It's going to be super hard for us for a couple of reasons. First of all, we're still in retrograde season, which means that we're looking back, we're reflecting, we're reviewing. Venus in Taurus wants no part in that. We've already done the review in our emotions, in our wants, needs, and desires when she was in Pisces energy. That's why when she busted into Aries energy, we hit the ground running. She wants no part in looking back. She also hesitates for us to look too far into the future, even though she really values the long-term end goal. What she wants to focus in on is this present moment, the beauty of it, the stability of it, the peace of it, the harmony of it, the pleasure of it. And even in the darkest storms, there are a lot of beautiful silver linings, and she's going to help us focus in on what it is that we have to have the attitude of gratitude about in the here and now, focusing in on the here and now, what we have control over, and what we have the ability to root in, anchor in, build, create, give birth to, that will support us in moving forward. She's very focused on the five senses, very in our physical form. Now, let me tell you, the low and slow energy is likely going to push us on the border of being lazy and just hoarding all of this food, putting all of this really not so good stuff in our physical form. Why? Because that is the shadow part of it. The light part of it is that we're taking care of ourselves, that we love ourselves, that we hold ourselves to such a high level of value and worth that we change the way that we take care of ourselves. So if you find yourself kind of rooting into, the laziness, the sleep aspect, the constant stuffing your face filled with not so good food for the vessel that you are supposed to be taking care of, this is a huge awakening moment for you to adopt a brand new routine, for you to switch the role up, to start being more loving and supportive to the physical vessel that is your meat suit, because the energy from the higher realms coming in to evolve and enlighten your energetic body needs your physical body to be as happy and healthy and light as possible. So we are really going to be connected to our five senses, to our physical circumstances, which at the beginning is likely going to illuminate where it is that we're not happy, where it is that we lack stability, insecurity, safety, pleasure, joy, happiness, love, in order for us to learn the lesson through this season on what it is that we have to create within ourselves, within our physical circumstances, in order to bring all that light energy, that good vibe, those life lessons back full circle for Venus in Taurus to really, really hit home to us. We're looking for love. We're looking for romance. We can't have the goddess of love in her throne, in her place of power, without looking around to see where her king is at. Speaking of kings, may I remind you that Mars, the masculine divine energy, is in his place of power, sitting on his throne, wearing his crown in Aries energy. You should check out that astro forecast if you haven't already. So we have an opportunity to balance the scales here. We have an opportunity to connect with the right people. We have an opportunity to create a brand new reality for ourselves where love and romance and worth and value and money matters are concerned. But there is the con side constantly triggering our egoic shadow self. We want love so bad that maybe we aren't willing to keep those boundaries high, and we're just willing to settle. That would not be a good thing. Not a good thing at all. We want romance so bad. We just want to be swept off our feet. We want our soulmate to show up, our twin flame, if you buy into that concept, that maybe you will be deluded enough to think that somebody is this person and throw yourself at this person, all because you're in love with a concept that is not real. We have to be very aware of the cycle that we're moving into. We do not want to hold on to anyone. We do not want to commit to anyone under a false illusion of what love actually is to us. And again, with the excessive possessiveness that will be highlighted in our relationships, we have to be very aware on where it is that we are overcompensating, trying to fill a void from a wound that we have failed to heal within us. This is time for us to get real. This is time for us to get to the very basics of love, starting with the relationship with ourselves. If you refuse to feel what it is that you have to heal, you will continue attracting the same kind of people with the wounds that you have failed to heal within yourself so that they can continuously pour salt in those wounds and remind you, acting as a mirror, the work that you have failed to do within yourself. This is going to be an eye-awakening time. This is going to be a very interesting time for those of us that are awakened on this healing journey to see if we've actually learned anything. Now, that's kind of the relationship side of things, the love side of things. We have to also remember that Venus rules over worth and value. That comes down to our finances as well. And with what's going on in the world, finances are a major topic. We have to really take a good look at our money matters, at our resources. Take a good look at your skill set, at your talents that you have kept in the closet, on the back burner that you need to bring forth. Okay, whether this means creating a side hustle for yourself, whether this means bringing those skills and talents forward so that you can be in alignment with a meaning, with a purpose that brings you happiness and joy so that you can cut your life-sucking 9-to-5 out, do it. But we have to reorganize. We're still in a retrograde. We have to reorganize what it is that we're doing for money. We need to look at solid, long-lasting ideas, practical, logical ways of creating an income, a safety, a security in our finances that will be around for the long haul. And again, because possessiveness is so high, we need to look at what it is in our physical realms as far as things that we can sell, that we're no longer attached to, that are no longer using, that we may struggle with letting go because, of course, Venus and Taurus is all about hoarding. We just want to keep things. You know, there's a lot to be said for the materialistic items that we hold on to that we're not even using, that aren't even serving a purpose, that could very well be helping someone out at this particular time and could put a couple of bucks in our pocket. But because our attachment styles are so freaking hard right now, you might be hesitant to go through your closet to get rid of a couple of things. But this is the prime time, the prime opportunity to do that. Now, Venus, she loves aesthetics as well. So we're consumed with art and music, anything that makes us happy, brings us pleasure. But we got to get back down to earth, okay? We have to get grounded in our approach. We have to make sure that we're making time for the artistic styles, for the music, for the fun, for the self-love, for the pampering. But we also have to get to work in reconstructing, reorganizing our physical realms to match and mirror the visualization, the dream, the goal that we're trying to manifest, that we're holding in our third eye, in our mind space, in our heart space. Right now, many of us are living in physical circumstances that do not align with the dream that we are looking to bring to life. And the easy way to start aligning with that vision, with that dream, because again, that's how we manifest, is getting real with our current physical circumstances, with the materialistic possessions and items that we have in our life. Do a clear out. I know I did this analogy before, but I'm going to do it again. This is an opportune time to show the universe that you trust the process. Get rid of the things that are creating the cluttered type of environment in your heart, in your head, in your home, to signal to the universe that you trust that when you clear these items out, that you are creating the space, trusting that new, more aligned, more attuned factors and elements will enter into your realm. The analogy that I used before is ordering a whole brand new house filled with, furniture and appliances, and not trusting that the truck will show up, and therefore not moving any of the old items out of your space because you're afraid that if you do, when the truck doesn't show up, that you will have nothing. And then the truck shows up and ready to unpack your new items, your new life, your new decor, and you have to spend your time clearing out the old before you can enjoy the new. Many of us rely on the safety and security, saying, oh, well, when the universe shows me that the new elements are ready to show up, then I'll make the space for it. No, that is not how it works. That's not how we manifest. It's not how we trust the process. We have to create a space for the new to enter in. And to do that, that means that we have to detach with the old, get rid of it. If it means sitting in an empty house, it means sitting in an empty house. You have to trust that that truck of furniture will be backing down your driveway. That's how the relationship with the universe works. So with Venus moving into Taurus, we're going to have a lot of challenges. We're also going to have a lot of blessings. We're going to have a lot of beautiful things unfold for us, but it comes with a certain awareness that there's a lot of ugly truths that we will have to really absorb, really process, really integrate, really do something about before we get to enjoy the beautiful part of what Venus in Taurus is all about.